And hello again, my fellow geeks and gamers. Welcome back to the Immersion YouTube channel here. Got another video popping up here. We are going to recover the Endzone A World Apart tutorial. Since the game has launched in early access, which was what my first video covered, the announcement that the game was going into early access and went through the tutorial, they have made, the developers have made constant and regular updates to the game. As you can see here on the early access roadmap, in April they added expeditions, which are send expeditions to large ruins on the map to hunt for treasure and supplies. And you can now assemble a team of explorers and make impactful decisions for your team and settlements. They've also added side missions. I think 17 is the count now, 17 side missions. And of course bug fixing, which is what you'll see in hopefully every early access game. And then in this month so far, they've added some new scenarios. New ways and objectives to beat the game in addition to the current endless survival mode. Scenarios add specific tasks and winning conditions selectable when starting a new session. They're working on new game modes and new statistics also for this month. But because of all these recent additions here, as the game is in early access, they have went through and also revamped and updated the tutorial. So I'm going to make another video here. That's what this video is, going to cover the tutorial again. And let's look at what has changed, what has improved, and give you another sense of how the game process is going here through the early access in Endzone, A World Apart. So, nothing much has changed there. The usual intro note. Let's go right into the tutorial. Okay, the loading screens used to do a slow zoom in on the scene. That seems to have stopped. I kind of like that effect, but alright, here we are, a new beginning. Now we've got some guy named Arthur Sachin. We finally left the end zone. Just look at this beautiful scenery. It's marvelous, even though it's a bit different from what we had pictured. We were able to secure a few basic resources and are storing them in our bus. Let's build ourselves a new home. I imagine this guy probably has a Russian or at least a regional accent, which I can't do. So I'm not going to subject you to that pain and terror. Okay, Arthur Sachin, I'm glad we've prepared ourselves well for this kind of scenario, especially since our inventories in the end zone ran low. Don't forget that if you need additional information, you can look at our survival guide at any time. Let's do it. Alright, so I'm going to immediately pause the game. I'm going to orient my map the way I like it. There, so there's north, there's south. Alright, we've got a lake to the south, surrounded by forests and some hills. I wouldn't exactly call them mountains, just some large rock hills. Now, because this is, I'm going into this one here blind. I have not played through this tutorial. This just the announcement just came out earlier today over Twitter, so I finished up some things that I was doing and jumped in here to record this. The previous video, the one I did on the other tutorial before, I had played through that 3-4 times or so, so I knew what was coming. I kind of knew what was going to happen ahead of time, and I could go a little faster on that one. This video is going to be just a little bit slower because I want to detail and look at what's changed and specifically point out what's gotten better. Alright, so as I mentioned in the last video, Endzone video, There's this thing called the survival guide, which is something you should at least take a look through. Maybe not read it thoroughly beforehand as I did, but go through and be familiar with some of the major points that the game has. And that is now the first tutorial task that you have, is to open the survival guide. So there is the survival guide. Construct building, reproduction, thirst, weather, confidence, health, tools, electricity, expeditions, accumulating resources, yada yada yada. It's all in here. So just go through and reading up on it to get yourself better familiar with how the game operates, what you can expect during gameplay before you get in. And since that was the first task in this new tutorial, that task is now complete. Well done. Everything you need to know should be right here. I think the time has come for us at last to build ourselves a new home here. Before we can construct buildings and all, we have to assign the profession builder to several settlers so that they can take care of construction contracts. In general, it's your responsibility to decide which tasks are important and how our settlers are supposed to be distributed to attend to them. Alright, so now we're getting into the second task here. We have to open the profession menu and assign settlers to the profession builder 1. So everything is now blinking, as you can see here, which it also didn't do in the previous tutorial. So that's a nice touch. Tells me where to go. Alright, so there's the builder. I need to select one builder. One builder is done. That task is complete. Alright, your builders will be ready to work as soon as construction contracts have been issued. It's time to start focusing on our key and most basic need, water. The first thing we have to do is establish a working water supply. So we'll move on to our first construction contract. Place and build a jetty by a lake and in the vicinity of your town center. Understood. Alright, so we've got our tasks updated here. Build a water, open the buildings and task menu, assign settlers to the profession builder. Done. Jetty, build 1. Copy that. Alright, so building and tasks, water tab, jetty, which is conveniently being blinked at right now. Right, alright. So now this is the town center, this broken down bus here. So I'm going to put the cistern, which is probably going to be built next, right about in center, because it has an area of effect which I want to get as much in this clear area as possible while still keeping close to the jetty. So let me flip this around. Okay, the green marks are still the entrance to the buildings. So I'm going to put the cistern right about there. So I'm going to put the jetty right down here so that they have a straight line of march back and forth to each other. Alright, there's that. Now I need to unpause it so that the jetty gets built. So right here. Alright. So now I'm going to have my worker, my builder, whoever gets assigned the builder. Alright, now these two here, they're going to collect the supplies. When you click on each building that's to be built, you can see there the construction information. I need wood. I need 16 wood for the jetty to get built. Okay, so these two are carrying 16 wood down, and they're going to place them on location. Then once the wood is all in place, the builder is going to come down here, swing their hammer, and get that built for me. So I can watch the construction progress down here on this second bar. While they're doing that, let's take a quick look around. I've got some food over here. I've got my other settlers, 10 adults and 5 children, just kind of hanging out. Alright, so there's the builder. The wood has been staged. The building is coming up. Blam. Alright. let's get that to stop. Alright, I'm going to pause her again. Very good. The jetty was completed as planned. Now we have a place where we can collect water. There are other possibilities to gather water too, but the jetty is the simplest and most cost-effective method. We can obtain and store water from different sources like a jetty, rain collector, or well in the cistern. The cistern should always be in close proximity to a water source so that our water carriers don't have to walk too far. And I just mentioned that. Okay, so we are on pause. And I'm going to... The next task is to assign settlers to the profession water carrier. So I'm going to open up the profession windows. Oh wait, I have to get the cistern built first. Yeah, cistern built. My bad. I skipped over that one. Alright, so here's the cistern conveniently blinking at me. I'm going to turn the entrance around so that it is facing the jetty. And I'm going to put it so where its area of effect covers much of that area as possible there, because that's going to be most of the area that I build in. Blam. Alright. Cistern has been built. Or wait, the cistern has been placed. I need it to get built, so I'm going to unpause here, allow my workers to work. These folks here are going to get the resources up that are needed. Wood and scrap. And then the builder's going to come in and whack it a few times. I think I can go ahead, yes, I can go ahead and assign the water carriers. So I need 3 water carriers, so I'm going to take 3 citizens and assign to them the water carrier job. Good, alright. Now once the cistern gets built, they will automatically go to work carrying the water. And to finish up this task, the goal is to collect 100 water. Almost done here. Alright, so there are my 3 water carriers, and you can see their route because I have the cistern selected. So if you unclick on that, you can see there. Let's see. Now I also want to see. I'm pretty sure I read that they had updated and streamlined the citizen pathing. So the way the citizens make their way towards each building. Now that's not going to matter too much right now because I don't have much in the way. But that's also one of the things that I remember that they have been improving upon. Now just for a second here, I'm going to let this run at normal speed because I want to see next how much each water carrier carries. So that I can have an idea of how fast they're going to fill up my water supply. Yeah, see, this citizen here went out this way and then went here when they should have just walked straight. That's what I'm talking about, some of the pathing. They should have all just walked in a straight line directly towards that instead of counting that second that it took to get out here on the outside. 25, 50, and 75. Okay, so each water carrier carries 25 units of water. That is good to know. Alright, now that I know that, I need to collect 25 more to finish off this task. Alright, I'm going to speed it up. Just wait, what's that? Oh, some pigs. All right, I got some wild sows out here. Okay. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit, just to get them a little closer, so we can finish this off. See, I did it again. Right there. That's some of that pathing, so maybe they need to work on that just a little bit more. I will put that into a bug report and see if that's going to be addressed or not. Now, once this water gets filled up, there it is. I'm going to pause the game. Great. We have now installed a working water supply, and water is now transported from the jetty to our cistern. Consider hiring more water carriers if you have enough settlers available. You can never have enough water in storage. Alright, so for accomplishing that series of tasks, we got awarded 200 plus 200 water. So now I have 649 water total. Alright, so we're going to go on to the next task. Now we should focus on food production. It's important to ensure the supply right from the start. A gatherer's cabin, a hunting lodge, or a fishing hut can directly remedy the situation. I suggest starting with the fishing hut, since we're already located near a lake. Alright, now this is different than the last time I went through the tutorial. At this point in the game, it had me build 2 fields and assign 2 farmers. But now it looks like it just wants me to build a fishing hut. Okay. So, yep, first source of food is going to be the fishing hut. Alright, so I'm going to construct the fishing hut, which is food. Yep, there it is blinking at me. Fishing hut. Right, let me pull out a little bit here, and let's get this turned around. Oh, yeah, I did notice that. Okay, so now when you rotate buildings, they snap to the 4 compass points, not the 8 compass points that it snapped to before. Okay. Yeah, that I'm not too fond of, because I liked being able to have the 8 compass points so that I could, like for instance, if I wanted to set this way, diagonal, so that it's flush with the coastline, I could do that. But now it's not going to allow me to do that, so I'm going to be a little bit more selective in how everything gets placed. Alright, so since this is food, I want the food to get, see, this is why, because the coastline is diagonal the way it is, that I want that diagonal, being able to place buildings diagonally back. Alright, so I'm going to have to put this down here. Let's see, right there. Alright, so the fishing hut is going to be right next to the jetty. Alright, so the fishing hut is built. Or wait, it's been placed. I need to build it. So let me unpause the game. Now, these are my water walkers. And I'm going to have some resource people come up here and gather some wood and scrap, and they're going to stage these down here in the construction area. And then my builder's going to come down here and build it. Meanwhile, I'm going to make sure that I have 2 fishers according to the mission tasks. Right, I have 2 fishers assigned. They are just now waiting for the fishing hut to be built. Once that is done, I'll need to have my fishers produce or catch 50 fish and make sure they get stored. Alright, so the area is cleared. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit here, just to get the building built. Right, wood and scrap are almost, there we go. Alright, now my builder's going to come down here. Once the builder gets into building it there, I will return back to normal speed so that I can see if if anything else changes. Alright, that is built. Now, we've got to wait to collect 50 food. Alright, so there are my two fishers. They are going down to the fishing platform. That's as far as I can zoom in. And they're going to get some fishing done in the middle of the pouring rain here. Now, how many units of fish do each fisherman collect? Is it standard 25, the same as water all across the board? Or do they have varying amounts? We're about to find out. Alright, they have caught their supply of fish. They're going back to the fishing hut so that it can get cleaned. I think that's what they're doing. They may take it directly to... Yep, 20. Okay, so each fisher collects 20 units of fish. Not the same as the units of water. That's good to know. Okay, so I'm going to speed it up just a little bit here. Alright. I need 10 more fish to complete this mission. Prepare for pause. Good work. We've now taken care of our basic supply via food and water. Make sure that enough food and water are on hand at all times, especially if you want to upgrade your settlement. A population that grows too fast can quickly unbalance your food and water supply, bringing major difficulties to you for you if you don't watch out. Alright, so we got 300 units of fish, which now gives me 436 total units of food. I think that's a 456, my bad. The numbers are kind of small, and I've got my glasses on. I'm getting old. Alright, so next task. Crops are another excellent way of getting food because they constantly grow as long as the soil is moist enough. Each seed has different yields and growing times. This means that it can take some time until your field is ready to be harvested, in contrast to your fishing hut, where production can begin right away. Alright, so the game is paused. Now we've caught up to where the last tutorial progressed us to by this time. Cultivate a field. 1. Alright, so it's here. There's the cultivated field blinking at me. Now I'm going to see, before I do that, I need to look at the soil moisture tab. This soil moisture tab tells me where all the moistest soil is located. So it looks like my entire civilization building area here is in the blue, which is good. So I can pretty much cultivate my fields anywhere in this blue area, which would be best. I'm going to turn that off. Cultivate a field. Let's see. Do I want to put them? Yeah, because my house is up there. Okay, so I'm going to do a 6x6 grid for a cultivated field. That's 7. Alright, 6x6. And then I'm going to... Oh, I only have to do 1 this time. Yep, okay, so cultivated field has been placed. Now I need to seed it, which means there. Now, alright, so I'm going to choose one seed that is going to be planted in this field. And since I am still early in the growth cycle of my civilization here, I only have available cabbage and spinach. Okay, so cabbage has a total growing time of 2.3 seasons down here. So By the time I was able to harvest cabbage, it would be season 4 and almost 4.5. Now, squash, on the other hand, has a growing time of 2.3 seasons. Okay, that used to be a lot shorter. That used to be much shorter. It was only like 0.75 seasons, I believe. All right, that's going to give me 216 food for the squash, 180 food for the cabbage. Oh, wait. I didn't have it selected, my bad. So cabbage is 1.8 seasons, 180 food. Squash is 2.3 seasons, 216 food. All right, so we're going to live off cabbage for just a little while. So I'm going to set the seed for this field to cabbage. Boom. All right, and then I'm going to assign the settlers to the profession of farmer. Here, there's my farmer tab right under the food section. I need to do just one, so there we go. Looks good. Remember that we need the widest variety of food services to stay healthy. You should also plan ahead for drought periods that might come when it's not going to rain. Stock up on food and adapt your production to avoid bottlenecks. I'll show you a few more strategies later on. At the beginning, we don't have much scrap, wood, and other resources. We could build a production building, but to obtain resources as fast as possible, it's best if we start gathering right away. Place tasks to gather different resources. All the settlers who haven't been assigned any profession by you are going to accept these kinds of tasks. In addition, settlers distribute resources within your settlement. Alright, so let's do it. Alright, so I still have the game paused. So I'm going to look up here. What was I doing here? I forgot what I was doing. There we go. Okay, so why did I close that down? There we go. Okay, here, where's my... I just closed my task window. Nope, that's not what I need. There we are. Okay. So I need scrap and wood. Alright, so I'm going to go down here so I can cut off the cultivated field. So I need to build tasks. Task is right here. Right, I need to set one to gather wood and gather scrap. Alright, so here's gather wood flag. So let's see, I want to clear out. Here's where you start getting into some of the strategy that you're going to be using, or that you'll need to employ so that you can grow your community the way you want to grow it. So I want to clear out this wooded area first because it leads to this large massive ruins, which is a huge chunk of supplies. So I'm going to put the gather wood banner right there. All right, so it's going to gather most of that wood within that circle. Now, gather scrap. That's going to be placed in a different territory. And I think it's going to be right there to the north. Yeah, because that'll give that time, these guys here, the tree clearing guys, time to clear this whole copse out, and I can make it a beeline from that unit, that area there, to my collection area. So gather scrap. It's going to be placed differently. It's going to be placed up here. See, I think I want to do it right up here in the north. Yep, I'm going to put it right here. So what they're going to do now is they're just going to collect all this scrap. They're not going to touch the wood. They're just going to collect the scrap. And I need 15 scrap collected and 20 wood collected to accomplish this mission. So I'm going to unpause, and watch my workers go to work. Now, let's take a look at this here. You notice that it was a task. This is a task, all right? Which means these tasks, you do not have to assign any specific worker to it. It's done automatically by ever how many adults you have available, i.e. those adults who are not already assigned to a certain task. I didn't pause it. Yes, I didn't pause it. Okay, so let me zoom in a little bit more. All right, yep, there goes the first tree down. All right, so my woodcutters are working. Now I need to get, all right, they're taking trees down also there. Let's see, I should be able to, yeah, there we go. I can click, you can click on the markers, the task markers, and you can see which of your adults or children, or which of your citizens are making the trek back and forth. They're making the beeline. And I also want to see, it looks like 4. It looks like each settler carries 4 units of scrap and 4 units of wood per carry. At least that's what it looks like. So I'm about to find out. They are taking their time. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit. Specifically watching this carrier right here. Alright, Paul or slow her down again. Scrap produces now 6. Wood produces now 20. Oops, let me turn that off. I'm trying to watch the numbers up here. Alright, so I've got 11 of 15 scrap and 12 of 20 wood so far. Alright, scrap has been collected. Alright, there we go. I've got my required quota for the materials. Oh, I was only supposed to have 3 settlers, not 4. I screwed that up. That's my bad. Like I said, that's a little bit difficult to read. So, settlers. I mean, wait, is that right? No, that's 4. Okay. Let's see what you mean. Alright, so where are they doing now? Did I not place the gather scrap? I thought I did. Yep, there's the gather wood. My bad. I absolutely thought I had placed it. Alright, task complete. Since we now own plenty of resources, we can start to build a real production building. Then you don't have to always make efforts by hand that collecting is taking place. Production buildings are not only easier to manage, they are also distinctly more effective than simple tasks. Don't place production buildings too far away from your settlement. You'll be able to change their working area at any time later on. Right on. The best thing for us to do now is to build a forester's lodge to automate our supply of wood and make it more difficult at the same time. Foresters are only able to chop down trees. They reforest areas with trees too. Foresters are not only able to chop down trees. They reforest areas with trees too. That's good to know. Okay, so the game is paused. Look at the tasks here. I need a forester's lodge built. So that's going to be resources. There's my forester's lodge icon. See what kind of building it is. I want to put it towards the front center. Here's a lake. Let's see. I wanted to get as much forest. Okay, I could put it down here to help clear out this forest where these this marker is. Right there. Okay, so there's the Forester's Lodge. Alright, now I need to assign settlers for the profession forester. Which is done right here. So there's my forester. Alright, good move. I've got 2. Good, okay. So now I just need to unpause, get that window down there. Alright, let's go over here and watch the Forester's Lodge. Alright, I'm going to speed this up just a little bit, just enough to the Forester's Lodge gets built. Nope. Keep going, keep going. They are taking their time. So let's zoom out just a little bit and go into Alright, so the wood is good. I just need I need to assign one of the settlers. Let me go ahead and do that here to Forester. That only needs 1. That's done. Now I just need the Forester's Lodge to be completed. It is almost done. Alright, there we go. Done. Good job. You might want to change this building's working area later on to tell your workers where they should get their wood from. And for your information, if you want, you can also tell the Forester's Lodge that they only ought to attend to reforesting an area in order to create a lush green forest, which generations to come can use. Okay, so I got a bonus of 50 wood for that. Gives me 256. Very good. Now we have to take care of collecting scrap. Scrap is one of the most valuable resources because the quantities present are limited, and we can recover other resources from scrap. Unlike the task we just had, the Scrapyard allows larger quantities of existing scrap to be dismantled than with ruins or wrecks. Alright, so next task, Scrapyard built. Okay, so I need to put, let's see, I want to put a scrapyard. So I've got these guys here, up here, collecting all this. I'm going to put the scrapyard kind of down in this area and start whittling away at this large scrap area here. Alright, so scrapyard. Scrapyard is right here. It's not that big. Nice. Let's see, let's get a little closer. And I want to put the, let's see. Yeah. Right. I want it to collect down here, so I'm going to put it right there. Now, I'm going to unpause. Let the workers get to work while I assign settlers to the profession scrap collector. Oops, wrong one. Scrap collector is right here, and I need one to accomplish this mission. He's in. Okay, do I need to... Let's see how it's looking. Yeah, I'm going to speed her up just a little bit so we get a jump on the construction of this building. Okay, wood is almost staged, totally staged. I've got enough scrap on site to handle the building. Alright, there's wood. Now, where? There it goes. Alright. Boom. Okay, scrapyard is built. Now, there's a nifty little thing that you can do in Endzone that not seen very often, or I can't remember if at all. Once you collect, now this is the area of effect, standard area of effect that this building has. Any scrap that's within this area, the scrapyard is going to collect. But as you can see, this is just a little bit out of the area here. So I'm going to change the field of work with this button right down here, and that's going to make this circle disappear, and I'm going to instead have my crew team that's where I want it, right there. Alright, so their work area is going to be right here. Now let's unpause. Alright, now I need to assign settlers to the profession scrap collector. I need one. That's been done. Now I just need to produce a total of 20 scrap. going to get a little dark here, so it's going to be hard to see. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit. Comes down here. Going to collect some scrap. Going to take it back. Boom. Great. You can change the working area for the scrapyard too. We can recycle scrap into 4 additional resources: cloth, metal, plastic, and electronics. We'll do that shortly, but for now we are to take care of your settlers' needs first. All right, with the accomplishing of that task, I got 50 scrap bonus awarded. All right. Our people want a place to sleep and live. Cabins fulfill their need for safety and privacy and increase the confidence of their inhabitants. In other words, building cabins increases their willingness to start families and reproduce, if you know what I mean. Alright, so now, provide housing. I need to build 8 cabins. Now, where do I want to put 8 cabins? You know what? I think I'm going to put them alongside. I think I'm going to put them along the coastline here. So let me see if I can do that. So build housing cabins. And then do the cabins. Yep, cabins also snap to the compass points. Now that I look at it secondhand, I'm going to put houses right down the middle of the town here. Let's go there. Wait, let's see. I want to put this, right here. Yeah, I'm going to make a line. I'm trying to think too far ahead here on the tutorial. I should just go ahead and plot them down. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to offset 5, 6, 7, and 8. Alright, now let's unpause and let my builder get to work. Okay, these are people getting my supplies, staging them on the construction site. Let's just track. Let's track this one here. And now, once all the supplies are on site, builder's going to come through and whack them into place. There we go. Nice. Got an achievement. One house is built. Tracking one house is built in the task list. Come on, I need some more houses. Alright, 4 houses built, 4 more to go. One more house, and we will have completed this task. Boom. Besides cabins, you can also provide sturdy houses and shelters as housing. Sturdy houses withstand sandstorms, say that fast, better and have an increased storage capacity to boot. Children living in houses gradually fill up the house's stockpiles. Settlers do not reproduce in a shelter because they lack privacy. Let's return from our excursion into housing and refocus on scrap. With the help of a recycler or a refinery, scrap can be assorted into 4 different resources. A recycler always takes scrap apart into one resource at a time, while a refinery automatically produces all 4 resources. To start off, you should build a recycler and produce cloth. Copy that. Now, next task, build a recycler. Alright, so I've got the build menu up. Recycler is going to be here under resources, blinking at me right there. Alright, so now I'm getting the majority of the scrap from down in this area and from down in this area. So I'm going to put the recycler kind of midway, like about right there. Actually, let's do, okay, so I need straight lines, so straight lines here, straight lines there. Should I put it there? I think I'm going to put it right there. Boom. Alright, so there's my recycler. Now, assign settlers to the profession refiner. So, go here. Here's my refiner. I just need 1. Boom, done. And I'm going to unpause and let my construction team build that recycler. Watching the recycler building here. Oh, let me speed it up just a little bit. Recycler being built. Blam. Okay, now I'm going to turn it back down here to normal speed because I want to see how much, how many units of scrap each refiner brings into the recycler. So I've got it selected here. I want to see who my recycler is, who my refiner is. Alright, so the next task is to produce 4 cloth. So you can see over here on the recycler item card, I've got cloth right here already selected. I could select plastic, electronics, or metal also, but I need 4 cloth to accomplish this task. Okay, so, yeah. Alright, so the recycler does not show its worker, the refiner. So, how does it get its resources? The refiner doesn't go out and collect them and then bring them back. The refiner seems to stay inside the building and do the work. Because as you can see, I have 4 cloth already being produced, but I did not see a refiner actually go out to the supply and bring them back. So let's turn this back on to normal speed. Let those 4 cloth get finished, and that will accomplish this task. Dare speed it up just a little bit more. Get it going just a little faster. Alright, it's working on 4 cloth. I don't know how long it takes to build those 4 cloth because there's no progress bar. Is. Alright. You can instruct your recycler to produce a different resource at any time. It's important that you focus on the resources you really need, at least in the beginning. Cloth and metal look like good options if you want to equip us with protective clothing and tools. Alright, so we got awarded 12 cloth for accomplishing that mission. Got it. Happy settlers are industrious settlers. That's why we ought to look after our people and protect them against the surroundings and dangers like radiation. So, let's start by transforming our newly recovered cloth into protective clothing. A tailor will be able to help us with that. Alright, new task. Build a tailor shop. Alright. So now since the cloth is going to be coming from this building, I want the tailor shop to be close by. Tailor shop is blinking at me. Boom. Right, tailor shop is a little larger, so I'm going to put it here right across from the recycler so that they trade their resources rather quickly. All right, let's turn the game speed on. Now I need to assign settlers to the production tailor 1. Right, so I'm going to go over here. There's tailor. I need 1 tailor. 1 tailor is good. Now, I just need to build a neck scarf. So let's select the building. Let's speed it up just a little bit. So the tailor is the same style of building as the recycler. The tailor actually works in the building, does not go out and get the resources and then bring them back. I think the open adults, the ones who don't have tasks to a specific task, are the ones who bring in the supplies, while the tailor himself or themselves stay inside the building just like in the recycler. Alright, now I need, okay, it's getting built. About to have the full tailor shop card. Boom, there it is. Alright, so there I can build a neck scarf, an activated carbon mask, or a radiation suit. Right, but I need to get at least 1 scarf created, so I'm going to keep it selected on scarves here. Scarf. let this get built. Pause. We categorize environmental radiation into 4 levels: no radiation, low level, medium level, and high level radiation. The radiation changes constantly and is influenced by weather and contaminated rain. Protective clothing helps to protect us against this kind of radiation, but it takes a while before it's produced, and production relies on a steady flow of incoming resources. Try to establish production chains at an early stage and start to stockpile goods so that some are always on hand. Understood. The tools we brought along from the Endzone are slowly but surely running out. So now let's focus on manufacturing new tools. The tools will help us to work effectively. We'll need metal for that, so we'll prepare for production by building another recycler, which will commission to recover metal from scrap. After that, we'll need a workshop to enable the manufacturing of brand new tools. Boom. Okay, so we've got it paused. So first off, I need to build another recycler. So there's my first recycler. I'm going to put the second recycler right here behind it. And I'm going to make sure the entrance is turned around like that. Boom. All right. Now I need to assign, well, I can't do that until it gets built, right? Yeah. All right, so then I'm going to put a workshop, which is going to give me my tools right here. Boom, in front of it. Right next to the cistern, not blocking the path, so they've still got a fairly straight line of march to the jetty and the cistern and back. And then I'm going to get the game speed up. I need to assign settlers to a refiner. I need to assign another refiner. Refiner is here. Boom, task complete. All right, then I need to instruct the recycler to produce metal. Wait, before that take the building to get built. I need to assign settler to profession technician, which is right here. Boom. All right. Now I just need to wait till these buildings get built. All right, workshop is up. Boom. All right, so workshop is built right there. Task complete. Next up is this other recycler, which is getting built now. Okay, now this other recycler, I need to set it to metal. So I'm going to go over here and click metal, and that's what it's going to produce. Next up is to instruct a worker to produce metal tool. Okay, so that's over here. I can do scrap tools or metal tools. I'm going to select metal tools on the workshop. That's done. Now, produce 2 metal tools. All right, so let's turn it back over to game speed until we've got 2 metal tools produced. Oh, that's some contaminated rain right there. Not good for the crops or my people. Holding steady over the pause button for when this task gets accomplished. There we go. Tools are almost done, I have a feeling. Again, there's no progress bar, so I'm not sure. come on. There we go. With our lovely new tools, we are now prepared to work effectively. Should you ever run out of metal, keep in mind that you can also instruct a workshop to manufacture tools from scrap instead of metal. Though they won't be quite as effective, it's still better than being forced to work with bare hands. Down in the Endzone, we had sufficient time and resources to educate ourselves properly. But our children don't have this luxury. We ought to build a school and pass on what we've learned. As a result, they will be able to survive and work better and more effectively. Alright, so now the workshop and tools and the school were not a part of the last tutorial, the first one that I did. So these two are new buildings, and I'm learning how they work. Alright, need to build a school. Now, let's take a look here. Okay, so I've got the area paused, game paused, and take a look at the school. I'm going to put the school right back here behind the houses. So this is going to be community. Yes, community, school. School is probably going to be a different size. Yep. Oops. There. Okay, I'm going to put the school right here. Assign settlers to the profession teacher. 1. Alright, so teacher, where's teacher? Teacher's down here. 1. Alright, now let's get the school built. Wrap up the game speed. And let's watch him get this thing built. Oh, okay, so this is clearing the area here. This looks like radiated ground, doesn't it? Yes, it is radiated ground. That's why. Okay, so radiation has moved in. Okay, and thankfully it looks like it's receding. But they're still going to have to clear the area before they can build. The ground has been cleared of radiation. They can now bring in the resources and stage them on site to prepare for construction. Alright, so as a reward for building the school, we get an additional 3 settlers. That's nice. That's going to be real nice. Alright, supplies are on site. Where's my builder? Here it comes. Perfect. Besides the fact that educated children work more effectively, we'll also teach them to be more careful with their protective clothing and tools. This, in turn, leads them to staying intact longer, and we conserve valuable resources. So there's my 3 extra settlers. I'm now up to 18 adults and 8 children. Now that our population is starting to grow, we ought to turn our attention to the topic of food production again. We are already accumulating fish and tilling our fields. A gatherer's cabin will now enable us to gather mushrooms and berries from the forests nearby. Alright, so next let's build a gatherer's cabin. Alright, so I have a majority of forests a large copse of forest over here. So I'm going to put the gatherer's cabin, wrong button, over here. That's going to be in food, I imagine. Yep. Okay, gatherer's cabin, blinking at me right here. And I'm going to turn it around so that it is facing the forest there. Let's see, I want to, it's facing forests. Now I want to get as much of this wood area as I can in here. So I'm going to put it right there. Alright, assign settler to the profession gatherer. I need 2. Gatherer right here. 1, 2. Done. Alright, and now we need to collect, once the building gets building, collect berries and mushrooms. Alright, so let's, oops, wrong one. There we go. Alright, let's turn the game speed on, and let's track the building. Alright, where's my builder? Builder's going to be building in the dark time here. Just had another couple of children get born. Alright, there's the gatherer's cabin. Now my my 2 gatherers are going to go out in this area and collect all the berries and mushrooms that they can. I need 20 each. $14 mushrooms. Boom, that was fast. Wait, I don't have all my berries collected. It counted me as done before I'm actually finished. Okay, very good. As you can see, the gatherer's cabin is an effective possibility to get food quickly. But watch out. After a drought, it's going to take some time before the plants have regrown. As is the case with most buildings, here too you can relocate the working area at any time. Although we are sufficiently supplied at the moment, our survival depends on diligent planning. If we can lay out a plan for an orchard, then we can start to plant fruit or nut trees we can harvest after a few seasons. Alright, so I'm going to put an orchard right up here above the bus. So for the next task, I need to build an orchard. There's my orchard. Okay, it's the same as a crop field. All right, so I'm going to make it, I just need to do one, right? Yeah, I just need to do one. So I'm going to go 6x6 block there. Boom, there's the orchard built. Okay, now I need to assign the settlers to the production farmer. I need another farmer so that I have 2 farmers total. Done. Now I need to seed the field to choose which one I want. Okay, let's see, choose seed. Looks like the only one I have currently available right now is cherry. Boom. The orchard has been laid out and the trees are already beginning to grow. Similar to crops for farming, trees need some time until they are fully grown. But once they are, they can be harvested again and again until they have to be newly planted. Our gatherer's cabin gathers food from the surrounding forest. However, there are any number of other plants there which we could use as well. These plants can be gathered by an herbalist hut. The herbs gathered there can be consumed by settlers to replenish their health. Alright, so next up, herbal hut. Herbal hut. So I'm going to put that right next to the gatherer's cabin here. So herbal hut is going to be resources. Yeah, herbal hut there. Ooh, it's kind of large. Alright, so maybe I can put it right here. Alright, so there's that. Assign settlers to the profession herbalist. Keep clicking the wrong button. Herbalist, 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 herbalist. I just need one. One. Task complete. Now I need to gather 20 herbs after the building is built. So let's game speed up. Wait for supplies and builder. And away they go. So I need to collect 20 herbs to accomplish this task. Done. Well done. We can equally utilize the gathered herbs to convert them into medicine later on. It might happen that an illness breaks out on our settlement from time to time and spreads among our settlers. That's why we always ought to have enough herbs on hand. Radiation is the main reason why the health status of our settlement can decrease. Although our settlers already use protective clothing to shield themselves against environmental radiation, it might occur that our sources of water become contaminated. We should start to filter our water to prevent this from happening. We will need a great deal of charcoal to accomplish this. The charcoal kiln will burn wood to produce charcoal. Alright, so I need a charcoal kiln. Now since that requires wood, so the question is, does the charcoal kiln send a worker out to gather wood, or does it from the forest, or does it gather wood from the forester? Now that's the school. Where's my... What do I do with my... Anyway, okay, so that's the question. Well, let me see how big the charcoal kiln is first. Oh, okay, I thought it would be just a little bigger. Okay, just in case, I'm going to put it next to a wood resource. So I'm going to put it right here. And then it's got a straight path down into to drop off its supplies. Alright, so there's that. Now assign settlers to the profession charcoal burner. 1. Charcoal burner. 1. Done. Okay. Now let's get this built. And once it is built, I'll need 2 charcoal. almost there. Boom. Okay, now let's see. See, okay, it's not showing me a path for a worker, so that means the charcoal burner stays within the building, and my open citizens are the ones who go back to wherever they get the wood from and then bring it back so that it can be burnt and turned into charcoal. Again, there's no progress bar. All right, great. We can use the charcoal in conjunction with a filtration system to purify our water. Unfortunately, our cistern is not able to do this. Only a water tower has the necessary equipment for this capability. It would be a disgrace if we had to demolish our cistern just to erect a water tower in its place. What we ought to do instead is upgrade the cistern itself. A water tower can store much more water and provides workplaces for a lot more water carriers than our old cistern. Alright, so upgrade your cistern to a water tower. So the cistern is here. I need to upgrade it, which is blinking at me right here. Here's my supplies. It's going to take construction costs. Alright, it has begun the upgrade process. Set the speed back. In the meantime, I need to assign settlers for profession, recycler. So I need to build another recycler, is that it? I need to assign 2 more water carriers. So I can do that. Alright, that's the last of my settlers there. I have 0 settlers now available until some of these children turn into adults. It's being built now. All right. So now, let me pause this here for a second. Okay, assign settlers to the profession refiner. All right, so I need to assign 1 more refiner. I don't think I can do that until I build another refiner. Is that correct? Yep, I'm at max now, so I need to build another refiner. Or recycler, rather. Okay, so let's just plop that sucker down. There's my recycler. Alright, so let's just put that. Yeah, let's do it like this way here. Let's see. I don't have any room to put it close by those, so I'm just going to set it right here. Okay, now I can build, or I can assign another refiner. Alright. Oh, no, I can't because I'm out of citizens. Alright, so I'm going to have to get this building built and then wait for some of my children to become adults. So let's get this built. Where's my builder at? There it is. Alright. Now, I got, well, let me check here. Let me check. Yes, I can do it. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to assign my next refiner, which will accomplish that task. Instruct a recycler to produce plastic. Alright, so this is going to produce plastic. And boom. Our new water tower is up and ready for action. Good work. Filtering the water is an important next step because clean drinking water is a key mainstay of any stable society. Let's begin with filtering our water. To save on charcoal, we ought to ensure that at least a little bit of water not contaminated by radiation is being stored in our water tower. Water gained from a well is never contaminated by radiation, so it suggests itself for that purpose. Then we can use the remaining charcoal to produce better protective clothing. Alright, so next, I need to build a well, another well. So I'm going to put that right down here next to the lake. And I'm going to turn the entrance towards the water tower. Let's see, since I've already got stuff in the way here, and this is just a tutorial, I'm going to put this right here. Assign settlers to the profession Will digger. I need one. Oh, well keeper. My bad. Well keeper, not well digger. Told you my eyes. Okay, well keeper. Oh, I don't have any citizens I can assign there, so I need to let this get built first. While some of my children turn into adults. Come on, builder, get over there. There you are. Alright, now I need to look and see if I've got any more settlers. I do. Nice. So that I can get a well keeper going. Task complete. Activate the filter on your water tower. That's right here. It is set to inactive. I'm about to set it to active. Done. Task complete. Instruct a tailor shop to produce activated carbon mask. Alright, so my tailor shop is back here. That's the school. Where's my tailor shop at? Activated carbon mask is right here. Selected. Task complete. Activated carbon mask produced. 2. Alright, so I'm going to track from the tailor shop until I get 2 activated carbon masks. Right, game speed is up. So it's going to take it just a little bit of time until all the supplies reach their coordinated areas. And then the tailor finally gets its supply what it needs, which is right there. And there they are. 2 masks now being produced. Good work. We are continuously taking steps toward being better and better equipped to be able to survive in this hostile environment. Filtered water is a precious asset, and later on we can even use it to irrigate our fields. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's true, we should never forget that even when we optimally prepare and protect ourselves, we're still going to lose friends and members of our families time and again. We're going to mourn them, come what may. But if we're able to bury them in a cemetery, then we'll get over the pain and let them rest in peace. Alright, so next up is a cemetery. So this is new. Let's see. Cemetery. Where would I want to put a cemetery? I think I'm going to put a cemetery right back here. Let's see what size it is. Logistics. Community. There it is. Cemeteries in the community tab. Alright, so, here we go. That's what I was expecting there. Okay, so let's plop that baby right back here. Alright, cemetery built. Needs 1. Assign settlers to the profession mortician. Mortician. 1. Alright, now let's get the cemetery built. I should have put the there's an opening there. I should have spun it around facing the town. But that's alright. Next time I will remember that. Okay, the area is clear. Let's bring the supplies in. Alright, supplies are on site. Builder, front and center. Nope, not the builder. Getting some more adults. Are you my builder? There's my builder. Okay. The cemetery will help us to quickly get a hold of ourselves and focus on the tasks that lie ahead. It's not a pleasant thought, but that's the way things are. At the very least, we're pioneers, aren't we? Maybe we ought to distract ourselves to lighten up the mood. We can erect a number of buildings to increase confidence in our settlement, including, for example, a campfire or a pub. In this situation, however, our best option would probably be to upgrade our town center. Settlers can visit the new town center and, by doing so, increase their confidence for a while. Alright, so the town center is the bus. All right, so that's mounted. What does that say? Mounted bus build. Yep, that says mounted bus. Okay, so there's the upgrade button blinking at me. Let's upgrade this baby. Let's turn it on here. This is not going to take long, does it look like? Nope, not long at all. Boom. Very good. The new town center not only gives us more storage space, at the same time it functions just like a campfire too. Settlers can visit the new town center and by doing so increase their confidence for a while. Now that we have made efforts to ensure the spiritual well-being of our settlers, we ought to attend to their physical health as well. Our settlers can get sick from time to time. Settlers who become infected with an illness might die from it if they aren't treated. Settlers go to a medical facility to receive treatment and are admitted there, provided that beds are still available. The medical facility needs electronics to be able to be built, which means we'll need another refinery. All right, so getting some buildings in here, my little town. Okay, so I'm going to put I need another refinery. I need another recycler, rather. Let's put it right down here. So I'm just plopping these down. I'm not doing a whole lot of strategic thinking here as to where to put them down, because this is just the tutorial. All right, so let's get the recycler built. Next up, I need to assign settlers to. I need another refiner. Refiner right here. Boom, refiner is set. Instruct a recycler to produce electronics once it gets built. Here we go. All right, so there's the recycler. Now, instruct the recycler to produce electronics. So there's my electronics. Recycler electronics selected. Now, build a medical facility. All right, so you know what? I'm going to put the medical facility right here by the cemetery. Medical facility is in community. Yep, I thought that might also be a large building. So I'm going to set it right here behind the school. Bam. All right. Let's get it going. Next is assign settlers to the profession medic. I need one medic. Medic. One medic is assigned. Now I need medicine produced, 5. All right. So once the hospital gets built, it will have to produce 5 medicine to accomplish the task. Medical facility is built. Medicine is on the way. Oh, 10 medicine currently in production. Nice. Okay. Prepare to pause. Boom. With this step, we have ensured the survival of the settlement for a while. Very good work. Since more and more children are being born these days, we should start to plan for the long term. While cabins are a good way to get settlers to start a family, they only provide limited space. This can quickly lead to people having to live on the street. Allow me to suggest to you that cabins be provided only in a very targeted manner in order to control the population growth, of your settlement. Nothing is worse than not having enough resources to provide for everyone. We ought to build a shelter to be able to provide other inhabitants with a roof over their heads too. Alright, so build one shelter. So let's see how big a shelter is. Close down the hospital. Housing. Shelter. Alright, so this is like a little mini camp city. So I'm going to put it, let's zoom in a little bit. I'll take a look at this. Alright, I'm going to put it right here, just for the sake of this tutorial. Alright, and let's get it built. So it's a little shack city, a little District 9. Our supplies are staged, waiting on the builder. Oh, that takes a bit of time there. It's 250. That's going to jump my population up 8. I think that means adults. Boom! Look at that. Very good. Remember that when children grow up, they're going to leave their parents' house and look around for a new place to live. It might happen that they don't find any home at all. We ought to build a shelter to be able to provide all inhabitants with a roof over their heads. Yeah, that just says 8 settlers. It doesn't let me know if that's adults or children. I think it's all adults. I've already pointed out to you that it would become very dangerous if we were to run out of food at some point. Since a lot of people are going to be living in the new shelter, we ought to provide them with an access to food in their vicinity. A hunting lodge can look for wildlife in the surrounding area to bring a little meat on the menu. Alright, so I'm going to I need to build a hunting lodge. Hunting lodge, there she is, blinking at me. I'm going to... Now, hunting lodge, that's what I'm looking for right there. Okay, see the hunting lodge tells me where the game are at. So is that... Yep, there's all kinds of game right here, right along in this area. So that's good. I'm going to put the hunting lodge right here. Boom. And then they're right there, so it's convenient. They can go and collect all that game that's running around in the local area. Alright, so let's get this built. And in the meantime, I need to assign settlers to the profession Hunter. Hunter, here we are. I need 1. Done. Now, I need to collect, once the building gets built, I need to collect raw venison, 100, and wild boar meat, 100 each. Alright, so let's wait for this hunting lodge to get built. Oh, I think I just had somebody die. Didn't get it. Yeah, I'm ignoring everything else that's going on because I'm just trying to get through the tutorial here, the different steps for this video. I will play through this again and make sure I attend to all these alerts that have been popping up while I've been playing the game, but I will play that at my own speed. Alright. Hunting lodge just about to be built. Hunting lodge is built. Now it's going to collect some venison and wild boar meat. So I don't see a hunter out anywhere. I thought it would draw a line to where the hunter is, but I don't see it. Boom. Perfect. The hunting lodge equally provides us directly with food, but it functions somewhat irregularly because it relies on wildlife in the surrounding area. Nevertheless, it can be indispensable during a drought, because even then deer and wild boar still roam around the forests. In light of our increased production, our stockpile is surely going to run out soon too. The supply routes for our production buildings are getting longer and longer too. To address this problem, you ought to build a warehouse and design roads. Okay, so warehouse. Alright, now I want a warehouse to be somewhat centrally located. Let me see how big it is. Where is it? There it is, under the logistics. Yeah, here we go. Alright, yeah, I can put a warehouse. I can slot this puppy right in here. There we go. Alright. And then I need to build dirt roads, but let's get this warehouse built first. Alright, warehouse is built. Now, when it says build a dirt road, do I need to build 10 different dirt roads? Or do I need to build a dirt road 10 blocks long? Let's find out. Where is... There it is, dirt road. It's not blinking at me. Dirt road isn't blinking at me. Okay, so I'll need to report that. Okay, so let's just do this here real quick. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that's going to work. Okay, so it's just 10 blocks, 10 squares long. That's what that is. Okay. I've got more people dying. Anyway, I'm about to finish this task. Fine. Warehouses increase your settlement's general storage capacity. Place them in a targeted manner to shorten the transport routes for goods between your production buildings. Roads are equally a great benefit because settlers moving on roads are able to move much faster than on a normal load-bearing surface. To improve the whole thing even further, we can build a market to improve logistics at the settlement. Besides being an enormous stockpile for resources that is even able to store water, the market is responsible for distributing resources within your settlement. What's more, it also increases your settlers' confidence. Alright, so market. Let's see, since I've got the road coming down this way, I'm going to put the market, which is under logistics. Ooh, the market is huge. Alright, let me zoom in here a little bit and say, take a look at this market. I can't tell where the entrance, oh, there it is. That looks like the entrance there. See where that candy stripe bar is? It looks like they can enter from any four sides, but I want to put that up here towards that way. There we go. Okay. Market needs to be built. Assign settlers to the profession. What does that say? Logistician. So let's let me get this going. The building get going here, there, and then logistician for the market. I need two. I need two. There we go. All right, let's get. Ooh. Market takes all the resources: wood, scrap, metal, plastic, electronics, and cloth. All right, here we go. Boom. Logisticians are able to amass resources from your whole settlement and bring them to the market. This improves the flow of your products and leads to your settlers having to walk shorter distances to fulfill their individual needs. The combination of these attributes makes the market the ideal building when you want to enlarge or even relocate your settlement. Since we have our logistics under control, now we can concern ourselves with the weather and its challenges. We can build a weather station to enable us to make a forecast regarding upcoming weather and learn if potentially contaminated rain might be coming our way. It can also be used to prepare our crops and rainwater collectors we might have against contaminated rain by covering them. Alright, so next up is the weather station. Alright, so let's take a look at what the weather station is going to look like here. There it is, weather station. Oh, it's huge also. Alright, so I'm going to put it right here. Let me zoom in and take a closer look at it. Yep, let's put it right here. Okay. And let's get it built. All right, here come our supplies. next up is the builder. And here we go. Done. Very good. Now that we know what sort of weather awaits us and how we can protect ourselves against contaminated rain by covering our crops and rainwater collectors, we ought to attend to collecting the rain we want. Rain not only humidifies the soil, it can also be automatically collected via rainwater collectors to generate a steady flow of additional water. Since we've already built our weather station, we're able to decide what kind of circumstances would make us want to cover our rain collectors. Alright, so rainwater collector. Now, I don't know if I can build this close to... Actually, I might be able to set it right there. Well, let's see. Do I want... This is going to be a supplementary water system, so let me see if I can put it over here. I don't know how big this thing is going to be. Nope, it's not going to fit there. But it will fit here. But do I want it that far? Actually, I think I can put it right there. Yeah, this is where I'm going to put it. Boom. Alright. Rainwater collector underway. Yeah, not doing a whole lot of strategic city planning in this run, just plopping them down and getting through the different steps of the tutorial so that I can get them all shown on the video, get a little familiar with it, the process myself, and going to have a fun time going back through this, taking my time, plotting everything out precisely. Never forget that our settlers might get sick if we distribute water contaminated with radiation at our settlement, even if they're wearing protective clothing. We should make sure that the collected water is as purified as possible. We can have our crops covered to shield our seedlings against radiation. But once they've been covered, naturally they won't be irrigated with rain anymore. To rectify this problem, we can build an irrigation plant that is able to artificially regulate soil humidification. Place this building with care because it is only going to irrigate the soil within its impact radius, meaning it needs to go right next to the crops. Right, so the irrigation plant, which is right here, is how big? Oh, nice, it's a little small building. Alright, so I'm going to put it right here. Boom. And now I need to assign settlers to the profession irrigator. Irrigator, here we go. I just need one. Alright, that's done. Now let's get her built. This probably shouldn't take long. Alright, let's go, builder. Fabulous. As long as our irrigation plant is supplied with filtered water, it is able to neutralize a possible contamination in the soil due to radiation. But watch out. When water contaminated with radiation is fed into the system, this can lead to precisely the opposite, and the irrigation plant itself might possibly cause radioactive pollution of its surrounding area. That's not good. Alongside contaminated rain, there are other environmental hazards such as sandstorms or droughts. The soil dries out during a drought, and sandstorms sweep across the landscape from time to time. These sandstorms can damage your buildings and ultimately even make them unfit for use. We ought to prepare for this and assign several more builders to enable potential damage to be repaired. Alright, so assign builders to the profession builder. I need 5 more builders. Builders are up here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can decide which type of task your builders ought to give priority to at our town center. You can instruct them to merely repair buildings, to erect new buildings, or do both at the same time. This enables you to react quickly in crisis situations. For instance, in the event of a sandstorm, and to quickly attend to having damaged buildings repaired. Since we have taken care of all the pressing needs of our settlement, such as food, water, protective clothing, and tools, now we ought to attend to increasing the settlement's overall productivity. Down in the Endzone, we dealt with the concept of a solar collector. This solar collector is able to collect sunlight and convert it into electricity. We wanted to try out whether our idea works and build you a solar collector. Alright, solar collector. This is probably going to be rather sizable. Electricity. Solar collector. Oh, not as big as I thought. But it's round, so okay, so let's see. Let's put the solar collector right over here. Actually, let's put it right here so that I can have some straight lines, because I imagine I'll have to extend some electricity out. Alright, let's build a solar collector. Them sound like some hungry, whatever the hell they are. Sows? I think those are sows. I'm not sure. Sound like dying bears. Alright, solar collector being built. The solar collector produces energy by capturing sunlight and feeding this energy into a grid. The solar collector also gives us all the relevant information we need to keep an eye on our settlement's power consumption. Each of your buildings automatically hooks up to this power grid when you set up an electric power pole within the building's range. Buildings supplied with electricity work distinctly more effectively and produce faster as a result. What's more, housing supplied with electricity increases the confidence of the settlers who use it. Alright, so let's build an electric power pole. 3 of them. Alright, here is the electric power pole. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I see. See, it's got the wires connecting to the buildings automatically. Alright, so it's going to... Okay, so the cemetery doesn't use electricity. These 3 buildings, these buildings use electricity. So I need to set this... It just says I need to connect 5 buildings. Okay, so let's set this one right here. And then let's set another one. Oh, here we go. There. All right, and then let's do one more. Let's do one. Let's get some housing. Set another power right there. Okay, let's get those built. Here we go. This building is not hooked up to a power grid. Okay, so what do I need to do here? Did I need to... Oh, it's got to extend from the... of course it does. There we go, okay. There. So it's got to extend from the collector. So let's get that one there. So let's build one more over here. Come on, builders, here we are. Blam, there we go. Now we're tracking, okay. So now let's get, okay, so that's one building. So let's get, can I demolish? Yeah, let's demolish that one. And I'm going to set up another power pole here. Good, okay. So I'm going to extend it from there to there. There, all right. So let's get this one built. Go, builder. All right. Alright, now let's go from here. So you need to connect to that power line. So let me move it out here slowly to make sure it stays. Nope, lost its connection right there. That's as far as I can go with it. Okay, so there's a limited range that each of the power lines can go. So, alright, let's put another one here. That's going to connect the hospital, which is very crucial. Let's see, I'm going to demolish that one. And then demolish that one. Oh, I gotta unpause it. There we go. That would help. Alright, demolishing those two that I built in error. Come back here and fix this one. That gives me 3 buildings connected to the power grid. Let's get another power line going here. Okay, here, let me pause it. So there's this power line. I need to stay connected to it, so let's put it. I can't tell if it's connected. It should be. Let's put that right there. That's not too far away. Alright. I only need 2 more buildings, and that'll give me these 2 here. And that'll be mission complete. Task complete, rather. Boom. Fantastic. I can only picture how our ancestors must have felt with their almost infinite supply of energy. However, you ought to constantly keep an eye on your power consumption to avoid outages. Logically, the solar collector is only able to produce energy during the daytime. It would be beneficial if we could also make electricity available at night, so that our settlement remains effective. We currently clearly work slower at night. So let's try to store the surplus energy we produce during the daytime to enable it to be used at night. And that's going to require a battery. Alright, so of course I want this next to here. So let's flip this puppy around. Do I want it? Oh, I want it within the power grid. Okay, yeah, see, I can see how it connects. It gets a wire connected to it. Yeah, okay, so it needs to go somewhere in here. Okay. How about right here? Is there a... Nope, it's got to go... Can it go right here? Yeah, right there. Okay, so let me turn this around this way and see when it connects to a cable there. There we go. All right, now let's get her built. All right, builder, go. That looks good. Some buildings are not connected to the power grid. Although a well-structured settlement that's hooked up to a power grid consumes a certain amount of resources, it is enormously effective. Oh, and just as an aside, you can have electric power poles put up on many surfaces, even on roads. With the settlement producing on a stable scale, we can now focus on exploring our surroundings. Though we heard a bunch of stories in the Endzone, we can now explore the ruins our ancestors left behind firsthand to find treasure and resources. Let's build an expedition station. All right, so house ruins, house ruins, house ruins. I need something that that wants me to explore it. Let's see. Car wreck. Crashed helicopter. Scrap pile, scrap pile. Alright, so where do I want to put? That's what I'm looking for right there. Greenhouse ruin. That's where I want to send an expedition. So it's got the little question mark. An interesting place. Send a scout from an expedition station to explore the site. Alright, so I'm going to put my expedition station. Well, let me see what size it is. Oh, it's kind of sizable too. Alright, so I'm going to put it right here. Alright, let's get it built. There, okay. Assign settlers to the profession scout. Scout. I need 2 scouts, correct? 2 scouts done. Supplies are getting placed. getting built. All right. Expedition. What does it say? Expedition rationed. Expedition rations stored. Okay. So what do I do here? Maybe I just let it go until the rations get stored. And then I send them out on an expedition, correct? That makes logical sense to me. That's how we would operate in the military, in the army. Well done. Assign settlers to be scouts and prepare expedition rations. When you want to send off an expedition, you can decide the quantity of expedition rations you want to supply the expedition with. As a result, you can control how long and how thoroughly it is able to explore a ruin. Let's send out a few scouts to find a ruin. The scout will visit the ruin you have designated and explore it. As a result, the scout will supply us with important information about the site that we should pay attention to when we start an expedition. Alright, so now I need to send out a scout and discover a ruin. Okay, so I have selected a ruin, found a ruin already. So let's see, how do I send out a scout? Let me designate this building. Open expedition window. There we go. Oh, nice. All right, scouting mission to interesting location. It's going to take 2 seasons, and it's going to require 2 scouts. This site looks promising, but the radar doesn't show what exactly we're dealing with yet, Chief. We should send one of our scouts to check out the place first, and when we know what we're dealing with, we can start an expedition this way. All right, I'm going to send a scout. Waiting for free scouts. Alright, so now I need to unpause. Oh, wait, there it goes. Alright, I'm going to speed this up just a little bit. I think that... Okay, so it's going. It's just waiting for scouts to be free. Alright, there it goes. Yeah, scout has been sent out. So now I have the building selected. Where's my scout? Okay, so scout is going to get supplies. And now there goes scout on the expedition. All right, go scout, go. I'm glad it shows the path on this. That's cool. All right, let's see what happens here. Once the scout gets close to here, I'm going to slow it down because I want to see what happens. Nice. Our scout has returned and brought along a variety of useful information. Now that we know what we have to reckon with, we can put together a team in order to explore the ruin more precisely. Each ruin has its own challenges, secrets, and valuable resources. Choose settlers who fulfill the necessary prerequisites for the respective ruin and give them enough expedition rations to take along. In addition, don't forget to equip them with protective clothing and tools to the best of your ability before you send them off. Alright, so I need to start an expedition. So the scout automatically returns, or... yeah, automatically returns. Okay, so I need to start an expedition. Well, let's see, do I need to wait for the scout to return? Nope. Okay, greenhouse ruin. A greenhouse. We saw pictures of them in Endzone. Just picture all the plants and fruits that must have grown there. Sadly, there's not much left of them. The only things lying around here are rusty metal and scrap. We could send an expedition to excavate the ground. Maybe they'll find something. Okay, so I need, that's going to be 1 settler badge, farmer badge, and 1 equipment recommendation is a scrap tool. Alright, so let's configure the expedition. Oh, cool. Okay. So yeah, Charlie. Looks like Charlie... wait, no, Charlie's the hunter. Okay, so I need... okay, so you can filter. And age. Nice. Okay. There we go. Whoops. There we go. Oh, okay. Well, I just lost everyone. Alright, so it looks like Charlie's going. Okay, I'll learn how to better work that on my next time in. Alright, Charlie, away you go. Cool. Now that you've commissioned the expedition, it's now in the preparation stage. Expedition rations and other necessary resources are being amassed. Afterwards, the settlers you selected will relinquish their old tasks, assemble, equip themselves, and subsequently set off together on their way. Get yourself ready to make tough decisions. Good news, your expedition is on the way to its destination. Now it's all up to you. Contact them as soon as they arrive and listen to what they have to say to you. Make wise decisions and guide the settlers through the ruin with meticulous care. Alright, so let's go here. Alright, here's my scout returning. Expedition is being prepared. Alright, there's my scout has returned. Charlie, where are you? There's Charlie. And Charlie is gathering supplies, making his way. And Charlie is off. Let's take a look at Charlie here for a moment. All right. Now Charlie is a very old adult here. Let's see what how he's going to handle this. All right, so let's speed it down or slow it down here to normal speed. All right, what happened? Well, just like our scout reported, metal and rubble. Should we be on the lookout for anything specific, or just grab the scrap and get out of here in a hurry? Alright, so we've got decisions to make. Search for seeds and plants, or just loot and return. Let's see. It's a greenhouse. Let's search for seeds and plants. Doesn't look like much, but we'll keep our eyes open. If anything from the time before the incident survived, then we ought to find it underground. but it's been a long time. We'll have to be really thorough. The expedition successfully completed your task. Chief, we found a new type of seed for our fields. Our agriculture expert just discovered it. That's precisely why it's so important to hire the right people. Remnants. The option has already been completed. Nice. Loot and return. Expedition inventory. Loot at location. Loot and return. At last, we headed up to here with those rations. After a while, they weren't fit to eat anymore. Excellent. Well done. Your decisions during the expedition are decisive for its success. Try to be as well prepared as possible and make wise decisions, because the consequences could be fatal. Now let's loot this place and get out of here. Take as many resources as your settlers can carry and bring them back to the settlement. I think the time has come for me at last for me to bow out as a member. I've taught you everything I know, and you've proven yourself by keeping us healthy and in good spirits. I may have taken care of heading our last days in the Endzone. I may have taken care of heading our last days in the Endzone, but now all my faith lies with you. I believe that you are going to lead us to a glorious future. All right, and that is the end of the tutorial. You've made it through the tutorial. Now you can decide if you want to keep on playing the session or if you'd prefer to start again from the very beginning. All right. Well, thank you for joining me on this relook at the revamped and updated, highly upgraded tutorial to Endzone, A World Apart. That is 1,000 times better than the first tutorial, and probably about 1,000 times longer, but that's good. It's okay. So I'm going to move on and probably replay through this tutorial once or twice more. Thank you for joining me and for taking a look at this video. If you did like it, would you please, if you wouldn't mind, clicking that little like button down there. Hit the subscribe button so you can come back and see when I have more videos on my YouTube channel here. And until then, just keep on gaming.